Hello and welcome back to We Need to Talk About, your one-stop podcast for everything film and music. I'm your host, Adam Kelly, and today I am by myself, but I'm still very excited to bring this episode to you. I am talking about one of my favourite bands of all time with their latest album, Clancy. That is right, this is going to be an episode surrounded by 21 Pilots. I'm so excited, so let's get into it. Let's go. So, who are 21 Pilots? They are a two-piece band that originated in Columbus, Ohio in 2009. They currently are only a two-piece band with Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn. Tyler is a multi-instrumentalist and Josh is on the drums. And before 2011, so in between the time of 2009 and 2011, they were originally a three-piece band of Tyler Joseph, Nick Thomas and Chris Sally. But after Nick and Chris dropped out, Josh took over the reins and became Tyler's best friend. One great thing about the band is that they don't stick to one genre or one theme. They incorporate many different genres, including reggae, hip-hop, Midwest emo, and screamo. And they kind of just bring them all together in a really cool way. And each album has a different sound as well, so they're very, very creative with that kind of stuff. Some of their biggest influences include My Chemical Romance and Eminem, especially in their older stuff. You can tell with Self-Titled that they were definitely influenced by Eminem and My Chemical Romance. But they also influenced by Blink-182 and Radiohead. So let's talk about all the albums they've released so far. They released their first album called 21 Pilots, or Self-Titled, in 2009. Some of my favourite tracks from that include Isle of Flightless Birds, March to the Sea and Trapdoor. In 2011, when Josh joined the band, they released an album called Regional at Best, which is now an unreleased album because they released it and then signed with their label Fueled by Ramen. And Fueled by Ramen were like, right, you can either re-record and professionally release this album, or you can put that album to bed and we'll make a new album. And they were like, well, we have loads of songs in our back pocket. So they wrote their next album instead. But some of my favourite songs from Regional at Best are Slow Town, Ruby and Trees. Not a lot of people really like Trees from Regional at Best because of the voice modulation. But I think the voice modulation on Trees suits it really well. But yeah, so as I said, they decided to record their next album professionally in a studio environment with a label, and that album is Vessel. This was their first massive album in the States. They didn't quite crack the rest of the world yet. They were still fairly big, fairly well known. My favourite songs from Vessel are Ode to Sleep, Holding On To You and House of Gold. But then they got their big break across the whole world with their 2015 album Blurry Face, which has songs like Hometown, Heavy Dirty Soul, Message Man. They're my favourites, but it also has massive songs like Stressed Out, Ride and Lane Boy, three of their most popular songs of all time. In between Blurry Face and their next album, they also recorded a single called Heathens for Suicide Squad, which came out in 2016. Then, in 2017, they released Trench. Now, Trench was another massive album all across the world. My favourite songs from it are Legend, Neon Gravestones, and Jumpsuit. Trench definitely deals with the mental health side of things a lot more than Blurry Face did. Blurry Face had a lot of mental health issues talked about in it, but Trench kind of went even deeper in it. Then, in 2021, they released Scaled and Icy, which wasn't exactly loved by many people. I've always loved Scaled and Icy. I've always been a massive fan. I've always taken down haters of Scaled and Icy, but a lot of people, just because of the way that it changed, weren't a big fan of it because it's got an extremely different sound to Trench. It's a bigger jump than they've ever done before. My favourite songs from Scaled and Icy are Never Take It, Redecorate and No Chances. Some brilliant songs on that album though, apart from just those three. Definitely after this episode go and listen to their whole discography because it is brilliant. And then that brings us up to now with Clancy, which came out in 2024. So, 21 Pilots' music is very lore heavy. They have a massive storyline throughout their music. So I'm just going to catch you up to the storyline very briefly up until what we've got. So the storyline, although it's referenced in Vessel and in Self-Titled, it probably started on Blurry Face with Heavy Dirty Soul. So in the Heavy Dirty Soul music video, Tyler's being driven around by a masked figure. Josh is drumming in the middle of the road. The car swerves to miss Josh. The car just starts to fall apart after that. Tyler escapes, and he grabs a jacket from the boot and just starts walking off, which then leads into Jumpsuit from Trench, where Tyler wakes up in a river surrounded by some cliffs. He sees a group of people called the Banditos stood on the cliff edge. And then when he's walking around, he falls over. But then when he stands back up, he sees a hooded figure again riding towards him on a white horse. He ends up getting captured by this hooded figure. And then the Banditos throw down yellow petals to distract the bishop and distract the horse that the bishop's on, which allows Tyler to escape. But as he's escaping, he's running, he trips again and falls. And then this time he gets tied up by the hooded figure and attached to the horse. This then leads into the Nico and the Niners music video, which is also from Trench, where Tyler is in a prison cell. We find that the hooded figure, who is called Nico, hence the name Nico and the Niners, has taken him there, and we learn about something called the Bishops, which is Nico's group, and they're the Niners. So there's 9 of them in total, and Nico's the head. So we find out that the place that Tyler was took is called Dima. The lyrics in the song state, when bishops come together, they will know that Dima don't control us, which we kind of work out that Dima is an allegory for different mental health issues. And so this song's really about, although we do have mental health issues, they don't define us, they don't control us. They are a different part of us. We can defeat it. So then Josh and the Banditos break Tyler out of Dima, and take them back to their camp, which we go into in the Levitate music video, which is also from Trench, which we find out that camp is called Trench, hence the album name. They build Tyler back up, they get him ready to take down Dima, but as they're all sat around a campfire, Tyler gets taken away by Nico again. The next Law music video, even though a lot of people don't see it as a Law music video, I do, is Shy Away from Scaled and Icy. These last 3 songs are all from Scaled and Icy. And yeah, so Tyler and Josh are performing on a soundstage environment, and then at the end of that video we find out that soundstage is in Dima, which is why I believe the music video does belong as part of the Law. Not everyone does, because there's only Tyler and Josh in it. There's no bishop scene in the music video, but because it is set in Dima, I believe that video is part of the Law. We then go into the music video for the song Saturday, and in this music video Tyler and Josh are both performing on a submarine, but then a dragon smashes into the side of the submarine and breaks down the glass. We find out that the dragon is called Trash, and he's being controlled by one of the bishop's Keones, as they have a power called seizing, which basically means you can take control of a dead body for a short period of time, and do whatever you want with them. Keones then gets killed at the end of the music video because he helps out Tyler and Josh escape, which is treason in Dima. And then Tyler and Josh are just stranded in the middle of the ocean. But then that leads into the music video for The Outside, where Tyler and Josh are washed up on a beach. They start to explore this island they've been washed up on, and they find out it's a home to an alien species which doesn't have a name yet, but we do know that one of the species is called Ned. because he features in the Chlorine music video from Trench, which isn't anything to do with the lore, but it features Ned, who is one of these aliens. And then, so we find out that this is their home, and they give Tyler and Josh clothes and equipment that they need, and a lot of shelter as well. And then at the end of the music video, we find out that one of these aliens has given Tyler the power of seizing, like I mentioned earlier, where he can bring people back from the dead. Tyler uses this to control Keones and to destroy a part of Dima and set a big fire to let the bishops know that he means war. He is ready for them. He is ready to fight them. That's enough about the previous lore and the history of the band. Let's get on to actually talking about the album Clancy. Transition music. So, we'll start by talking about the marketing. On the 15th of February 2024, 21 Pilots changed their old album covers and put red tape over the eyes, which everyone was very concerned and scared what that sort of meant. I think we all kind of knew that meant new music was coming, but we were all like, oh, why are they doing that? That is a bit odd. And then on the 22nd of February, so only a week later, they released a video called I Am Clancy, which is basically just Tyler revealing that he is Clancy, which is a name that we've heard throughout the lore, but never really knew too much about. And it's just a really cool, concise video of all the lore up until this point. Another week after that, on the 29th of February 2024, they released Overcompensate, which was the first single of Clancy, which is a brilliant song. I loved it instantly. We kind of got a little teaser of the start of Overcompensate at the end of the I Am Clancy video. Then there was a bit of a wait until the 27th of March, where we got two big things that day. So we got Next Semester, which is their second single from the album. Another brilliant song, another one I fell in love with instantly. And they also released that they were going on tour with the album. So, of course, I got my tickets straight away. Then, on the 18th of April, we all received an email about the merchandise pre-order. And there was some really cool merch for this album. I did cut myself a t-shirt, which was very nice. And I also bought a box set of the album. And then on the 25th of April, so only a week after the merch released, we got their third single from the album, which was Backslide. Now, Backslide, I love it now, but at the start, I still really liked it, but it wasn't my favourite, and I had to force myself to listen to it like 6 times in a row to be able to really love it, you know. And then on the 26th of April, so the day after, they announced they were doing these mini shows across the world where they were just going to like one venue, and it's just going to be a small venue, and you had to answer a question to be able to get tickets to it. I answered the question wrong, which meant I couldn't go, obviously, which was a big shame because it looked really good, and they played some songs live that they haven't played in a really long time that I would have loved to have seen live. But I saw all the videos from it, and it looked like an insane night. Then on the 22nd of May, they released a surprise single. We had no idea this song was coming, but they released the single version of the song The Craving, which is another song on the album, but just sounds different on the single version. The single version's a bit more upbeat, and then the one on the album is more drawn back. It's just like a straight up ukulele track. Then on the 24th of May, we got an album release live stream, which was at midnight EST, which meant I had to stay up until around about 5 a.m. for it to start, and didn't get to bed until 8 a.m. that morning even. But in this, they just showed the music video from every single song from the album, because for this album, they decided to make a music video for every single song on the album, which did delay the release of the album by about a week. but I didn't care. We were getting a whole new 21 Pilots album. I could wait a week. But yeah, so they showed each music video from the song, and then talked a little bit about the song and about the video afterwards. However, they then revealed that the Paladin Straight video wasn't quite finished at that point. So they had us wait from the 24th of May until the 21st of June to get the release of the Paladin Straight music video, which it felt like forever. Obviously, looking back, it was only 4 weeks, but it felt like forever in the moment. I was like constantly checking my YouTube, like, has it come out yet? Has it come out yet? Oh, come on, please release it. That's everything about the marketing of the album. How about we talk about the album itself? So, as I said, there was a music video for every single song on the album. Now, Tyler decided he wanted to do this because before they'd released their music videos for their singles and then do visualizers for the rest of the tracks. And Tyler wasn't really a big fan of doing this. He's not a massive fan of visualizers. So he decided to actually just go and make a music video for every single song on the album. And Josh actually got to direct one of these music videos. He directed Backslide, which, like I said, is a brilliant song. And the music video is really good as well. Definitely go watch it after listening to this episode. And as I said, 21 Pilots are a very lore-heavy band, and this album is no different. They had 3 lore-heavy videos and songs in this album. Those 3 were Overcompensate, Navigating, and Paladin Straight. So we'll just quickly go through those for now. So in Overcompensate, we see Tyler, or Clancy at this point as we know him. We know him as Clancy now. We see Clancy building up an army to take down Dima and take down the bishops. However, later on in the music video, we find out that he was actually just using the power of seizing, and he took control of a body to rally the troops. So after we find out that he's just been using the power of seizing to get this army together, we find out that he's still in the outfit that he was at the end of the Outside music video. And that leads us straight into the Navigating music video, where he gets found by the Banditos, like I mentioned before, and gets led back to Trench by them. But along the video, we find out that Josh, who we now know as Torchbearer, wasn't actually with Tyler for the whole of the Scaled and Icy stuff. So throughout Shy Away, Saturday, and the Outside, Josh wasn't actually there. He was still in Trench, but he was just used by Clancy to help him carry on through and help him push on through everything that he was going through at that point. So then we're led into the Paladin Straight music video, where they're still in Trench. They're all getting ready for the war against Dima, and we see that Tyler or Clancy at this point, is getting ready to face his battles and to finally go and destroy Dima, which they all travel across the Paladin Strait, which is a body of water between Trench and Dima, to take down Dima and the bishops. But as they land on Dima land, they are greeted by the zombies, which the bishops have created using their power of seizing, which are all underneath neon gravestones, which, as I mentioned before, is a song from Trench, and is a really cool tie around there, tie back to the album Trench, and especially that song, because that song doesn't mean a lot to me. But yeah, so seeing the neon gravestones in a music video was just so cool. And yeah, so then at the end of the music video, Tyler climbs up one of the towers of Dima and comes face to face with 7 of the bishops, because Keones is dead, and obviously there's meant to be 8. So we're like, where's Nico? Where's the head? So Clancy ends up killing all of the other bishops, which kills all the zombies on the ground because you can't seize without being alive. Then right at the end of the music video, a door swings open and Nico flies straight towards Clancy, grabs him by the throat and lifts him into the air and says, "So few, so proud, so emotional. Hello, Clancy." Which, this is a reference to one of the songs from Blurryface called Fairly Local, where the lyrics are, "Even if my clique were to pick and the people were to vote, it's the few, the proud, the emotional." So it's a nice little callback to that as well. But for this time, Clancy opens his eyes and looks at Nico straight in the face, which he's never been able to do before. So this means that Clancy is finally able to face his fears head on. So let's now talk about future theories that I have. So there's a lot of theories going around about there being a double album, where it's Clancy 1, which we already have, and then Clancy 2. I'm not sure if that will be happening or not. I think they're either going to release just a few more singles to end the Clancy storyline, and just have that on like an EP kind of thing, and then release more music that isn't to do the storyline. I think they're going to do that, or I think they're going to have a completely separate album which just like finishes the lore, which isn't technically like a double album kind of thing. But let's get into what you're all here for, and let's get into my track ranking of the album. So at number 13, I have Snapback. It's still a brilliant song. I love it. I love every single song on this album. I do truly believe it is a no-skip album. But Snapback, I don't know, I just can't really vibe with it as much as the other songs. I'm not really sure what it is about it, but there are some really cool parts of the song with the backing vocals and everything. I've been praying for my elasticity to return to the way that it was. Then at 12 we have the Craving Jenna's version. As I mentioned before, there's 2 versions of the Craving, but I have only put 1 version in this because I talked about the single version earlier. The Craving Jenna's version I do have in 12th. I still love it as well, and it's a song that I play at open mic night sometimes. And yeah, I do still love the song. The craving. Now I see intentions don't mean much. But in 11th, we have Oldie Station. Now, I do love Oldie Station so much. I just couldn't put it any higher because of the other songs on this album. So Oldie Station was written for the fans. It's kind of like an open letter to the fans. Like, you can do this. You can push on through. You don't quite mind how long red lights are taking. Push on through. Your favorite song was on the oldie station. Push on through. In 10, I have put Backslide, which is one that has grown on me a lot. I don't wanna backslide to where I've started from. In 9th, we have At the Risk of Feeling Dumb, which is another brilliant song. It has a great message behind it. It's just basically just saying, just always check on your friends. Even if they say that they don't need any help, just keep on checking up on them. At the risk of feeling dumb, check it. It's not worth the risk of losing a friend. And then in number 8, we have Midwest Indigo. I relate to Midwest Indigo quite heavily because it's about Tyler not really enjoying living in his home, like the town where he grew up. I relate to that quite a lot because I grew up in quite a small village with not a lot to do. Moving for university has helped me realise that I'm much more suited to urban living than the countryside living.
You make me sad and second guess myself. Could be so cold, Midwest indigo.
And then we have Navigating in 7th, which, there's not very much I can say about Navigating. But there is one part of Navigating which really hits. In the middle 8, in the bridge, he talks about how he feels like everybody leaves. And one of the lines is, "My dad just lost his mum, I think that everybody leaves." So he wrote that bit about his grandma who passed away just like as he was writing this album. Which isn't actually the first time that's happened, because as you probably remember, I mentioned a song called Legend when I was talking about Trench. That song is about his granddad who passed away when he was writing Trench. So yeah, those two songs really are very close to me as well.
My dad just lost his mom, I think that everybody leaves. Now I'm trying to hold on to you cause everybody leaves.
In 6th, we have Overcompensate. I love this song so much. Every time it's on, I will dance to it. There's a really cool dance from the music video, which I learned the whole choreography to in about a week. I'm not sad. Before you say anything, it's just I love this band.
I fly by the dangerous bend symbol. We don't hesitate, but maybe overcompensate.
In number 5, we have Next Semester, which was the second single from the album, as I mentioned earlier. I love this song so much. It's not necessarily a happy song. It is a song about one of Tyler's suicide attempts, where he just ran into the middle of the road, but a car swerved around him to avoid him. In number 4, we have Paladin Straight. I love this song so much. Even the 1 minute gap in the middle where it's just Birdsong, I still love just sitting there and just listening to that 1 minute Birdsong gap in between the two parts of the song.
I would swim a Paladin straight without any foundation.
Yeah, so then in number 3 we have Lavish, it probably is my favourite song from the album actually. I've got it in 3rd just because of the production of the next two songs. But lyrically, it is my favourite song from the album, as it's just a big middle finger to the music industry. As to get any radio play, you have to have a set amount of time, a set theme, a set sound to get a lot of radio play. And so this song is basically just a big middle finger to that. And yeah, I just love it so much. Definitely go listen to that one after the episode.
I see your problem is your proctologist got both hands on your shoulder while you're bottomless.
In number 2, we have Vignette. Now, this is up here for a very specific reason. There is a synth part in the middle 8 where it's just ethereal. That synth part is just ethereal. It makes me feel like I'm levitating every time I listen to it. And I'm a massive fan of 80s music anyway. So hearing synth being used in today's music, it just fills my heart with joy. And then finally, the big one, numero uno, is Routines in the Night. I don't know what to say about Routines in the Night because it is just fantastic. The music video is fantastic. The lyrics are fantastic. The production of it is fantastic. Especially the backing vocals on Routines in the Night. I'll play a little clip for you now. Those backing vocals are insane. I actually love them so much. But the music video really matches the lyrics as well, because some of the lyrics are walk the layout, routines in the night, some doors have stay out, spray painted in white, while all the world sleeps, I'll walk around instead through the memories down the halls of my head. And in the music video, Tyler, who is Tyler at this point, he's not Clancy in this video because it's nothing to do with the law, is just walking around a house, through the hallways of this house, and yeah, just the production value of the video is brilliant. The cinematography of the video is so good. The production of the track is amazing. Just everything about Routines in the Night is insane. So, overall score for this album, I give this album a solid 10 out of 10. I can't give it any less. Like I said, it's a straight up no skip album. And yeah, it came out at a really vital time for me. I wasn't doing so great mentally, so then this album coming out, especially when the singles came out, really helped me get through that, and helped me push on through. Thank you for listening to this episode of We Need to Talk About. I hope you enjoyed it, and please stick around for the next episode. So please follow the podcast on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. Please also go and follow my Instagram and my Letterboxd at WNTTAP, where I'll be posting my film lists on Letterboxd, and any promo and stuff like that will be going on to Instagram. I do also have a TikTok of the same username, where I'll also be posting some promo stuff. So please go give that a follow as well. And for now, thank you for watching and stay alive.